Alright, so today, I've worked on this Bellringer for about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to go over it in this video, and then I'm going to tell you what you should be working on for Friday. So starting the Bellringer, the first two, I'm just asking you to graph the lines. If you forget how, you can always, in your calculator, type in your y equals, so 2x plus 5 is the first one. I'm going to look at the graph just so I can get an idea of what it looks like. But really what I want to graph is the points. So I'm going to hit second graph to go to my table. And then I want to plot at least two of these points. So this one I'm going to do -2, +1. So I go left 2, up 1, and put my point there. And then maybe I do like 0, 5. So 0, and I go up 5. So there would be my line. I connect them together in a straight line. And that's how I graph that line. For the next one, I'm actually going to use the y-intercept, which is this, and I'm going to use the slope to graph it. I can still use my calculator if I'm having trouble, but for the y-intercept, I'm going to go up 2 and put a dot. Then from that point, I'm going to count the slope. Remember, it's rise over run, so I'm going to rise 1 and run 4. So that puts me here at another point. And then once I have 2, I can connect them together in a straight line. Those are what our 2 lines look like. For this next one down here, we've got to solve for y first. See where it says solve for y first? So I'm going to subtract the 3x because it was positive. So I get 4y equals -3x minus 12. Don't drop your negative signs. Then I'm going to divide by 4 to get y alone. So I have y equals -3/4 does not reduce, so I'm going to leave it -3/4x. -12/4 is a -3. So now I can go ahead and graph this using the y-intercept and the slope, or I can put it in my y equals and look at the points that it gives me. Either way, I got to go down 3 on my y-axis, put a dot there. And then the slope says -3/4, so I'm going to drop 3 and run 4. It just barely fits on my graph, but still I only need 2 points to make a line. So now I can connect them together, and it looks something like that. You know, it's not the best straight line, but it'll have to do. Okay. For 4 and 5, we learned yesterday how to graph these. Number 4 is kind of easy because it's already solved for y, so I don't have to do anything. It asks what the slope is. Remember, the slope is what's next to your x, so my slope is 2. And my y-intercept is what's attached, so my y-intercept is -4. When I look at this, I need to look at this sign, the inequality sign right here, to determine whether it's a dashed or solid, or if I should shade above or below. So, because this one does not have an equal sign, it's just a less than sign, it's going to be a dashed line. And because it's a less than sign, that means the smaller one's on the left, I'm going to shade below the line. Okay? So now I can go ahead and put my line on here. So I'm going to go start at my 0, 0, go down the y-axis. -4, that's my y-intercept, and then I'm going to use my slope. Think of it as 2/1. So I'm going to rise 2, run 1, rise 2, run 1. I can keep repeating that, but I only need 2 points really. But I'm going to connect these with a dashed line because it's not equal to, it's dashed. Okay, so again, do your best to make a dashed line. And now I need to shade somewhere, and I'm going to shade below the line because I'm saying I want the y values that are smaller than this. So the y values that are smaller than this are below it. So I'm going to shade below the line. Okay. And number 5, it's a little bit more difficult because I've got to solve for y first in order to answer all of these questions. So I'm going to rewrite 3x minus 2y less than or equal to 6. I'm going to subtract 3x. -2y is less than or equal to -3x plus 6. I'm going to divide by a -2. And remember, when I divide by that 2, I've got to remember to flip this sign. So I'm going to left with y is greater than or equal to, that's kind of bad, let me rewrite that. Y is greater than or equal to, negative 3 over negative 2 is a positive 3 over 2, and then a positive 6 over negative 2 is a negative 3. So now when I look at this, my slope is going to be positive 3 over 2. My y-intercept is negative 3. It has an equal sign with my greater than or equal to, so that means it's a solid line. And because it's a greater than sign, once I solve for y, I'm going to shade above. So when I put this on my graph, I go down to negative 3 on the y-axis. I'm going to rise 3, run 2. I'm going to connect those in a solid line. And then I'm going to shade above. It doesn't matter what the sign I started with, it's what I end up finishing with when I solve for y as to how I shade. So greater than, I want to shade above. Alright? Alright, so today, you guys will be finishing, you're going to finish the scavenger hunt from yesterday. And then you are going to start a new activity, and there's bags with 5 different pieces of paper in them. It's the clue activity. You have to do 3 scenarios. But you're going to pull those out, and you're going to see different clues. They're really 4 problems. You end up doing 4 problems for each scenario to figure out who committed the crime and why they did. That kind of thing. You may not finish that today, which you should get time on Monday then to work on. But hopefully today goes well, and have a great weekend.